in New York, we are about 10 degrees C, and it feels like 4 degrees C. We have 3 more days negative -7, -8. And after that, next week it should be a little bit warmer and not freezing anymore. We still have a lot of snow on the ground. And I wish we are in Africa. So you never have this cold issue. My bees, I have last year I have 3 beehives, and right now I checked the last day, a couple of days, they still have 3 beehives. They didn't die, but it's not too many bees. If I can, next several weeks, if they can survive, and I'll be okay to March, later March, and it should be fine. It's a long winter, it's almost gone. And we for the fertilizer, and we have granule or solid fertilizer coming, and I also have different variety of fertilizer coming for different purpose and a much stronger, much better version. So we are coming. The idea is same. I want to share you one fertilizer. Where's my? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. We had this, we talked about this slide many times. So we see a lot of ingredients. This is simplified sheet analysis. I want you to see something. So this is the ingredients of your chemical fertilizer. It's very easy. So NPK 3. And also you see this is nitrogen is maybe only, they actually is not N only, they also have some things in it. And this phosphorus is not only P, also have O oxygen in it. And this potassium is also. So this 10% is not a 10% of P. This 10% is not a 10% is N either. Here is also the 10% is 10% of this group. This chemical. This is chemistry. How about this one? This is the fertilizer we are using. This is a lot of, you don't need to look at the details. You just see. So compared to this slide, very easy. Only 3 components. This is actual analytical report of our NOPF, and have 4 pages. This is 1 page, then page, and this is the 4-page total. You see how many ingredients we have? Why is that? Anyone have an idea why we have total so different compared to the chemical fertilizer? You want to show your clients, show your farmers. You need to tell them what's the difference. Anyone have any idea? You guys are so quiet. The idea is this is chemical synthesized. So you put a container. This is your container, chemical container, manufacturing container. You add 3 chemicals in it. You mix it. Well, it's not that simple, but the idea is that simple. You put 3 things in it, and this bottle. Let me look at it. This is HO2 only water. Nothing. So because you know what you put, that's all you have. And as the fertilizer, this is not the procedure to make this fertilizer. Is not to add 3 ingredients, not add 3 NPK in the bottle. Actually, it's coming from natural procedure, natural process, organic materials like this. These things you don't know what they have. They have everything. They have protein, fatty acid, carbohydrates, 3 big groups. They have everything because they are organisms. They should have everything nutrients needed for organism, either animal or plant, to survive. Well, you have all completed stuff. You don't know how many species of nutrients, how many species of all the different categories of the chemicals. You have no clue. You just say, well, you have almost, this is have a complete set of the necessary nutrients for any organisms. Some location, Africa, maybe you have something high in your body. In US, in China, maybe have different, but basically it's all same, all provide the same. Sometimes we have to do some blood test. When they do blood test, we will find, okay, your calcium is low. Your glucose is too high. Something you can tell you, when you have glucose too high, you say, okay, now I need to eat less candy, less sugar, less carbohydrates. When you say your calcium is too low, okay, now we need a supplement, take some calcium. Can you only take a calcium? No, not enough. You have to take vitamin D3. Otherwise, it's not enough for it. It's not efficient to take these nutrients. So everywhere, every people, every organism, they have complete nutrient available. So when we do this, collect all this organic material by the fermentation or by the hydrolysis or enzymatic digestion, break them down, you didn't filter them out. All the nutrients still inside. That's why when you bottle them up, you will not only have that many species. This is simplified. I only give you some basic idea what we have. So this is a little bit more complete. So you say this is have 16 amino acids, or you don't read the Chinese here, but it's 16 species of amino acids. All these trace elements, so many here. Do we think are these all we have in this bottle? This is about, do we have everything on the table analysis report? Everything in this bottle? No. We have more than that because we didn't test it. When you do the chemicals test, when you do the soil test, we go to soil department. They have, okay, can you test my soil? It's okay. What do you want to test? You want to complete this test? So-called complete is just they have procedure, they have methods to test. So they may have tested 100 species of the elements. Make sure you have enough nutrients, or some soil test is not a test purpose for the nutrients, it's tested for the pollution. if you have any heavy metals, any toxic, especially when you're building a house. When we are going to build a house, I have a farm, and we build a farmhouse. Right now, we need a soil test to make sure all the soil is safe. It's not the soil for the nutrients. So when they test the complete test, it only tests the soil for non-toxic. So this list is only still a partial of the actual nutrients in the bottle. So we have this bottle can provide almost everything plants need because they coming from natural procedure. It's not from chemical synthesis. Chemical synthesis, you can get a very limited number of the elements or nutrients in the bottle. Whatever you have this. Even this, the completed nutrients, some kind. Or all you have are different from greenworld. Every bottle, if you synthesize, you have everything on the list. But our fertilizer is not synthesized. It's from natural animal or plant material. So very complete nutrients. That's good part. A lot of people didn't know. Also, how can we just use this, or we don't use this at all? The chemical fertilizer, we have something, let me see. Do I have this table? This is a slide I use many times. This is one of the experiments. It's nice. I like it. And use conventional fertilizer only, or you can use only NOPF, or you can combine both together. You cannot say.
Sorry, Professor, we can't see the slide. We only see the file. We only see your files.
Oh, let me see again.
Yes, please.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay. This is not exactly fit every situation, but it's a good value experiment design. Why we say it's a good experiment design? We have to have control. Every good experiment have control. Okay, this is a control. This is a negative control, which means you don't put anything. And then you have another control, 100% of NOPF, 100% of the conventional fertilizer. So this is a kind of, if you say, this is you don't put anything, this is put only conventional, this only put NOPF. You see, you can add NOPF with much, give you a lot of increase in your yield. If you put 100% NOPF plus, you have 100% of conventional fertilizer, you have much higher yield. But this A, B, C, these numbers are statistically significant level. If you 95% insurance, so if you A to B, which means 95% cases, they are significantly different. Not necessarily C1 and C2 are, it looks like a little bit slightly different. Actually, in the statistics-wise, they are same. So we use these letters to compare your significant level. Same letters are same result. Even a slight number is different. So then you see any fertilizer use will be better than not use any fertilizer. This number is already also tricky. If your soil is from like on the hill, top of hill, the mountain, you don't have any plant, any trees, any organic material in the soil, this number will be very low. You may get nothing, but the starting point, you maybe have a lot in Africa, a lot of soil. You have some wards, you should have a lot of organic material if you always have green plants or weeds, wards, anything. If not, then this baseline will be very low. So after add this, you put 100% NOPF, 100% fertilizer, conventional fertilizer. This is also kind of several ideas here. How do you put NOPF and conventional fertilizer? You don't mix them together. You can use conventional fertilizer as the base, put in the soil, then that is working in the soil for a long time. Because they especially P and K. P and K is very hard to be available for plants. They have to make it the form of the water soluble, make a small molecule, and the roots can take. When you have buy the 10-10-10 or any chemical fertilizer from a store, you open the bag, you will see 3 different colors. The white one is the nitrogen, and have another 2 different colors, the potassium and the phosphate. The potassium and the phosphate is a lot actually from mine, actually from the rock, the stone. They break them down, they make it, so this is very hard to be water soluble. When you put in the soil for this month, it may take 2 months or longer, make it the P and the K, it's available for plant use. That's why conventional fertilizer, you should put NPK in the soil before planting. Or if you still need, if you're long time, like a tea, like some high multi-year plants, you can add conventional fertilizer in the soil by the drop line. You need to dig a hole or dig a tunnel, put them in the soil and cover them. And also, you have to be moisture. It cannot dry. If dry, this will never be water soluble. When you are not water soluble, they will be never available for plants to take. The nitrogen is a little bit tricky. Nitrogen is water soluble anytime.
Nitrogen.
Yes, nitrogen.
Oh.
If you put nitrogen, too much nitrogen in the soil, and plants don't need it that much, then you may leak. You may lose them because the water, the raining can dissolve the nitrogen and then you lost the nitrogen. So you don't put a lot of nitrogen as a base, but you should put a P and a K as a base put in the soil before you plant. And after the plants germinate, now is the time to add dressing, side dressing, or top dressing of the nitrogen biased, majorly nitrogen on the top of the plants. The nitrogen can provide a lot, enough nutrients for photosynthesis, for plants growth, and you basically anything green part, they contribute most by the nitrogen. But our fertilizer will have not only nitrogen. Our fertilizer, remember we talk about have several functions. First function is fertilizer. Of course, this is called NOPF fertilizer. We call the fertilizer is a fertilizer. But its fertilizer provides nitrogen for plant growth. Second important function is the amino acids. The amino acids is as the building block of the proteins. Plants, if you plant take nitrogen only, you have to synthesize, make this nitrogen into amino acids. Then amino acids, let me see if I have any. I don't have slides on this. Well, if I spend time to open, maybe I just talk. Let me see if I can find it. Well, it's amino acids. You have to be the nutrients. You have to become from nitrogen, become amino acids, and the amino acids put into the assembly line to be available to make a more long chain of proteins. So also this is the amino acid, one function as a building block. Another function of the NOPF, the amino acids is used as like a plant hormone. They can stimulate plant growth. It's not only as a nutrient, as like a hormone. It's plant needed to stimulate. When you like we take any hormone nutrient or something special food, it's not as a nutrient, it's as a stimulant. When you like sunshine, warm coming, you didn't get any nutrients from the sunshine, but you are so happy, you're more active. The hormone used as this function. So the amino acid is not only nutrients, it's also can serve as a stimulant to the plant growth. Then we have, compared to chemical fertilizer, we have so many here, a lot of the other stuff, the trace elements, tiny, the Cu, Mo, N, Mn, B, Fe, all kinds. Here the B is very important for fruits, fruit settings, fruits in large. So that's why when we have plants, we have the late stage. If only nitrogen fertilizer, we should stop apply the fertilizer. When you see any flowers come out, you should stop. But our fertilizer, you can still spray a couple of times after you flower, because we have some trace elements. Here is useful for fruit settings, make fruits larger. So these are some trace elements importance to be used at the reproductive phase. The plants, they have two phases. One is the vegetative phase, one is the reproductive phase. So vegetative phase, they basically plants only you see the large, big leaves, all green parts. When you see some colorful coming, the color, where is it coming from? The color is from the flower, from fruits. When the flower color something coming, they start as the reproductive phase. So what fertilizer it should have here, we can, it's something we can move this line. This line we can put here or a little bit longer. It depends on what crop. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I didn't mess up. I think I did mess up my slide. Okay, don't laugh at me. So this depends on each crop. The general idea is you stop. First, a lot of agriculture, you have kind of need a comprehensive knowledge. First, you need to understand your soil. That's important. Like we just talk about it. Like we do annual physical, do the blood test. The plants, the soil, agriculture need to do blood tests too. You need to know you test your soil or you know your soil. You can know your soil. You can just go look at. And sometimes you can you don't need a test. We have something here. So you don't need to do a soil test by send the money to the lab. You actually can tell from plant leaves, you know what the soil you're missing, the nutrients that are missing in your soil. Like my soil in my garden, we have sometimes we lack of calcium. How do you know lack of your calcium? My tomato, the tomato, this is my tomato, and a new tomato. No, it's not a tomato, it's a fake tomato. This is an apple, but I say if this is a tomato, and this part, the rotting, the dry rotting, which means tell you your soil not enough calcium. So after I now see that, so I add a lot of calcium limestone basically into your soil. Then next season, my tomato will be okay. So you can tell from plants different color of this kind of color, which means you have P deficiency. Or this color is from my plants. This is green, you okay. This which means too light, not green, too yellow, light yellow, which means you are nitrogen deficiency. And you don't confuse with that. This is all the plant diseases. How can you tell it's diseases or nutrient deficiency? Nutrient deficiency is like this. The leaves are uniform, continuous. You don't see any localized stuff. For this, you see a lot of spots. Or actually like the powdery mildew, you actually see something like a frost, like on the Dunkin' Donuts. You have something sugar on the top. It's not a sugar powder. It's a fungi. The fungi floating body, and they also a lot of spores. This is like a frost in the wintertime. So this, you can see, you can tell it's my slides. It's not a copied slide. Everything, okay, I made it myself. See, you actually see a lot of granule stuff on this one. So this is the diseases. This one of the general common knowledge is the plants diseases totally different are human. Most of the human diseases are no, I'm in trouble. Okay. What's the difference between the human diseases, animal diseases, and the plant diseases? Plant diseases mostly fungi species, fungi infection, and little bit less situation is bacteria, fungi, sometimes virus, and sometimes nematodes. So these things, diseases, the virus disease is also continuous. It's like nutrients deficiency, continuous. The whole plants died. Some fungi diseases also the whole plants die because they in the xylem tissue, they block the water. But this mostly is you can see the spots. So if you see the spots, they may be diseases or some insects, the aphids, the thrips, they can make this kind of mites. They can make this kind of situation too. If the mites on the back of the leaf, okay, one thing is a common sense. When we have the insects, diseases, especially insects, they like underneath of the leaf. If you spray insecticides, make sure you spray the nozzle back up, not spraying down. You spray up. So then you can actually kill the insects underneath the plant leaves. When we spray fertilizer, we also encourage, if you are not a large farm, if you are local, you have a small scale farm, or your home farm, you should spray the nozzle back up. Try to spray to the back of the leaf. Why? For the insects, of course, because the insects are on the back of the leaf. For the nutrients, for the fertilizer, because we have more openings, more leaf openings on the back of the leaf, not on top. The top of the leaf, for the evolution-wise, they should have more waxy, less openings on the top, while the waxy is protected a lot of water. If the water go to the leaf, they can slide off. If more openings on the top, when the sunshine coming, the moisture of the leaf will be developed. So, or you will lose the water much faster if you have more openings on the top. So, evolution-wise, the God says, don't put openings on the top of the leaf. The God says, put your openings underneath of the leaf, the back side of the leaf. This way, you don't lose water that fast, and leaf don't dry out that fast because your openings on the side. So that's why you need to spray fertilizer to the back of the leaf if you can. If you have a bigger machine, you cannot do it. But if you can spray, you do it. Also, if you go to the soil, It's also you know where your soil structure, the plant structure, the plant leaf. I should put a. I don't have a picture here. So this is, if we say this is a plant, this is a tree. It's a citrus tree. Okay, this is like a citrus. Where the most efficient roots they can take nutrients. The most efficient roots is here on the drop line. It's not on the base, near the trunk. If you spray, you put a lot of nutrients, soil, water, or fertilizer into the trunk of the tree, the citrus, the plants cannot take it too far away. Most active roots is underneath the drop line. So you understand the soil, you understand your plants, then when you do your fertilizer or pesticides, it will be much efficient. Did I confuse you everything? I think so. Okay, that's back to. Okay, so again, falling along. So let me back to the how do we use this? So we encourage you combine our fertilizer with your conventional or any fertilizer together. Not only use if you are not organic farming, if you not sell any vegetables, fruits to European Union, you eat it yourself like me. I eat my fruits, vegetables myself. I don't sell, so I don't need 100% organic farming. Then the best way is I put NPK conventional fertilizer into your soil as the base, or you add a lot of compost, animal manure, or green manure as a substitute. Put in the soil before you planting. Then, after the plants germinated, and use RNOPF as so this way you have a timeline. Okay, don't look at okay. This I can talk about this too, but at the timeline in the earlier stage before plant use NOPF. Or not NOPF. Before plant use conventional fertilizer, manure, animal manure, compost, all kinds of stuff. Put into the soil. Add, especially PNAK, remember, it's not water soluble. Take a long time for plants to use. So you have to put in the soil. You cannot spray afterwards. Then after the plant germinated, then you start, you see, I don't put a fertilizer in the early when the plant's so small. Don't spray NOPF when the leaf is too small. You cannot take it. So after the leaf a little bit larger, then you start to spray. Then you keep using this NOPF after plant germinated. So this is a good combination for the conventional fertilizer and NOPF. More economic wise, save your money, more high yield. Don't need just I only do NOPF. I don't need it. So you need to combine both conventional and NOPF together. Also, keep in mind is your farming, your soil, the land is your own or you rented your farm. That's different. If you own land, if you long-term rent a land, you are not going to depleting your soil. Enrich your soil is more important for your long-term. So make sure you change your soil structure, make your soil organic every day. So when you try to do this, you should put a lot of organic material, compost stuff in the soil before planting, or you have to do alternation. 1 year plant cotton, another year plant soybeans, another year plant something else. So you keep change what you plant on the soil in your land. This way you can make it, especially the green manure, the soybeans, the legume, the soybeans, all the beans, they have some bacteria on their roots to fix nitrogen in the air into soil. As one time I saw a report, it's in the air, the outside of the earth, the most components of air is nitrogen. We just cannot use it. We have so much nitrogen in our air. I wish we can just blow the nitrogen to the plants. Plants can use it. We cannot use it. So some bacteria is so smart. They can fix the nitrogen from the air into the plants, the roots. Some of these roots, you see some like beads-like stuff. You can, when you have time, next time you have a chance to pour soybean plants, take them out, look at their soybean roots. You will see something beads-like stuff. They are the bacteria place to fix the nitrogen. So we have a lot of soil department, agriculture universities. They have a soil department. Most best microbiologists from the soil department. Can you believe that? They study microbiology. They study soil bacteria. They try to manipulate or gene something to change some bacteria to fix, to help this bacteria like plants. So it's not too many plants have bacteria very efficient. Only soybeans very people must know. And other beans, they have some beans, but not as much as we can use. So if the scientists can improve, then have more plants, can adopt more bacteria or good bacteria. They can fix a lot of nitrogen from air. And we don't. In someday we may don't need apply nitrogen fertilizer anymore. But I don't know. Maybe never be able to because it's very hard. Scientists have been tried 100 years. Not too much development. It's very hard. The natural, the God created, they can stay for a long time. People is hard to change. So we keep soil fertility. To enrich your soil is the most important thing at any agriculture. If your land, of course, you want your land long term. If you rent your farm only for one season, like my farm, I had to give it away to a farmer. He planted some grass on my farm. He never put anything on my farm because he's using it for this. He keeps just depleting my soil. Someday I will not let him use, but right now I don't have time. I let him use because I need proof my farm is doing agriculture. Otherwise, the township will give me a hard time. They will charge me $5,000 for tax if I'm not doing farm. So I let that farmer use my land. He is depleting my soil, but he give me the receipts. He sell $1,000 of his grass to horse farm. Then I use this $100,000 receipt to the township, and the township waive me $5,000 tax. So I'm paying $300 tax right now. If I don't do the farm, I pay $5,000. So this is a trade-off. But in the future, when I move there, I will not let him use. I will start to do long-term, plant a lot of soybeans, but plant something help the soil. So keep soil enriched is all the farmers. You have to be think. So in summary, we need to understand your soil by testing or by looking your leaf, what are your deficiencies. Okay, this is all the kind of, what you need, and always keep organic. Always, if you use chemical fertilizer, make sure put this chemical fertilizer in the soil before plant. But the nitrogen chemical fertilizer is still can use after planting. After the seeds germinate, then we should use NOPF because NOPF is water soluble. It's easy to use anytime. Some people said, how about the concentration? The concentration we recommend 1 ml to 1 liter. It's like a 1,000 dilution. You can do 500. You can do to 400. Do we have fertilizer damage? Some people said, well, fertilizer, if we use a chemical synthesized fertilizer, you may have damage on your plants if your concentration is too high. But if you use NOPF, you will not have any fertilizer burning. If somebody tell you, I use your fertilizer, I burn my plants, don't believe it. They must have did something wrong, did something you don't know. And they burned their plants. To me, I never tried though. If I spread this original concentration to the plants, I don't think you like it because it's so expensive. This is 100 ml. You use a couple of minutes. You will not. So you will do diluted. Difference between 1 to 1,000 or 1 ml to 500 or 1 ml to 2,000. It's make for the plant burning purpose. It's not make a difference. If you make dilution of 1 ml to 10 ml, it will still not burning because our fertilizer is amino acids, well, some trace elements. Amino acids, just think about it as a extreme situation. Amino acids is part of the protein. The protein is make of your meat if you eat a chicken. If you put a piece of chicken meat on a plant, do you think you burn your plants? No. So this is very organic. You will not burn the plants. When they get, if somebody complain, use your fertilizer to burn the plants, their spray may be contaminated by something else, or whatever you need to ask them, whatever they did it wrong. It's not from the fertilizer. Don't say, okay, I don't charge you, whatever, I give you some money back now. It's not from the fertilizer. But also, speak of the fertilizer dilution, is also like a month ago, one of the friend from Africa, he suggested make sure everybody know how to dilute the fertilizer is very important. When you dilute when you make a tank of fertilizer, when you spray, you can take some from here, put in a cap, put in, this is your spray. This is your spray. This is a 20 liters spray. This you need to put a 20 ml of your fertilizer. You need to put the fertilizer to here. First, you add half a tank or 10%, which means 2 liters of the water into this spray. Make sure you shake it. Make sure all the walls of your spray container wet. So you shake it, put 2 liters of water in, shake it, or put a half tank, which means 10 liters of water. You shake it everywhere. Then you take this. You take the cap off, you put a 20 ml inside. Make sure don't touch any opening. Put all your liquid into the tank. This all your NOPF put in the middle of the water. Then you add rest of the water. You add another 10 liters water. You don't shake that, this shake. You convert. You shake this, shake that. You have to convert several times. You see, when you go to the doctor's office, doctor give you a shot. Something in the old time we do spray, then we got a shot for penicillin. Penicillin at that time was the powder, right? The powder, they inject some water inside. The doctor, they keep this shaking. They don't shake it like this shake. They shake it that way. They shake from top, bottom to cap. They shake it that way. Shake very well. Then you spray. This way, you make sure your dilution is complete. You make sure you don't waste your concentrated fertilizer on the dry place. If you put this into the dry tank, you may lose it. You never know. So remember, always put your 10%, at least 10% of the water into your tank first. Then you add your fertilizer. Then you shake by converting. Then you'll be safe. Okay, I talked too much. Any questions? You're so nice, so quiet. But I like it, people to talk. Or you turn on camera, say, hello. We are almost ending for the a couple minutes.
Does anybody have any questions?
Or share something, your story.
No questions today?
Vivian, you have something to say?
Yes, my leader. I came a little bit late, so I want to know how to spray it on the corn
What's
to
that?
understand that, please.
How to spray on water plants?
Corn.
Corn, maize.
Corn, oh, corn. I think I have a slide for corn. Hold on. This is corn. When you spray, you start to spray from the cup of leaves. Continue until you see the silk, yellow silk comes out.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks, you spray until you see the yellow stuff, yellow silk here.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah, but you don't see it, but you know what I mean. The silk from corn here. The yellow.
Yes,
When
I'm
you see the
understanding.
yellow coming, then you should stop.
Okay.
So you
Thank
see
you.
my line here?
Second question is, I understand that now. Now the second question is the yam.
Yeah.
Yam.
Yam is you can spray the sweet potato, right?
True.
红薯
Cassava
的吧
is a kind of a cassava. It's very close,
Okay.
very similar to cassava.
Okay. Oh yeah. That thing we can talk about next week. Next time. How about that? Because it's a big topic.
All right, so ma'am, make sure that you join us after 2 weeks, the same time after 2 weeks. So Professor will explain to you how to use the NOPF on growing yam. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us. If you have any questions or any photos or video clips you would like to share with us, you can send it to of group or to Mr. Budiman or to us so we can send to Professor. Then after 2 weeks, we're going to see you again, and Professor is going to answer your questions. So
Okay. We
question.
talk about cassava next week.
Next week we're going to talk about cassava. And Madam Doris, please raise your question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to know when we should spray the avocado plants.
Avocado.
Okay.
Like
We
you
are,
are showing
okay.
for the man.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I make notes next time.
Okay. All right, we'll make notes and answer your questions after 2 weeks. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Make sure that you join us after 2 weeks. So please, you can unmute yourself and see. Thank you and goodbye to Professor.
Bye bye. Have what time you have a great afternoon.
Bye,
My
Professor.
time here.
Thank you, Madam Renee.
Bye, Professor. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Love you so much.
Love you.
I love
See
you all.
next time.
Bye, Madam
Bye.
Rainy and
Thank
Professor. See
you.
you.
Thank you.
Next
Bye-bye.
time.
谢谢您。
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
再见。